It's been an epidemic of these white female teachers that's been messing with a lot of these male students. You have the stereotypes when it comes to black people that we're loud, obnoxious, boisterous, over the top. We like to fight, ghetto, things of that nature. But in these cases, these are just white female teachers that are constantly getting caught assaulting, having sexual relations with these male students. So is that something that's rampant in the white community? Is that what they do, like they say about black people? Is this how y'all act? Because if it is, something needs to be done about it. We need to get some laws in place. We need to have more vetting of these white female teachers who are getting involved with these students and seeing why all of y'all want to be teachers. What's going on? Because y'all obviously not teaching. Y'all looking for companionship, sex, fetishes, all of these things. But I got this story here. Like I said, I found a couple of stories that's been coming across my timeline. This one teacher in Illinois named Christina Formella, she was involved with a student, and I think some text messages came out about her. Well, it came out, but that was going on between the two of them. Let's check it out.
All right, so these are some really disturbing allegations. A teacher at Downers Grove South High School, who is also a soccer coach, is now facing sex abuse charges. That teacher, Christina Formella, is accused of assaulting a 15-year-old boy allegedly inside a classroom. NBC5's Natalie Martinez tonight has reaction from a school board meeting.
A troubling statement led off the packed public hearing tonight in Downers Grove regarding a special ed teacher and soccer coach, Christina Formella.
This morning we learned that a DGS teacher was arrested and detained by law enforcement. The teacher was arraigned this morning and charged with aggravated criminal sexual abuse and assault of a current DGS student.
In fact, the meeting was mostly about district finances and gathered dozens of community members. Still, district members are concerned.
We are heartbroken for the victim and also for the hundreds of students, staff, and family who trusted this teacher.
District 99, in a statement to students and families, said in part, Formella has been teaching our special services department since the 2021 school year. She was a volunteer soccer coach starting in the fall of 2020 and had.
I wonder, was she involved with maybe some of the special ed students that she's teaching? Because these people, they actually have like a fetish. They have an addiction. So she's looking for young boys at the school. She could quite possibly just be looking for somebody to take advantage of, as some of these special ed students are. Because she may get away with assaulting one of them and maybe them not saying anything.
And has been on the coaching staff for girls and boys soccer since 2021. In an 8-page petition to deny pretrial release, DuPage County State's Attorney's Office points to explicit text messages from the then 15-year-old boy and then 28-year-old Formella. She allegedly had sex with the boy inside a classroom at Downers Grove South High School in December 2023 when she was his tutor. Formella was also his soccer coach when he was a freshman. The two allegedly started the inappropriate relationship with flirtatious texting.
We will also be
That's how it starts. She probably offered to be his tutor. Because she's a special ed teacher. What would make him think that she could be a good tutor for anything? Not saying that special ed teachers don't have some type of degree or they're not knowledgeable of anything, but I mean, why would you not just go to a math teacher if you got issues with math, or a language arts teacher if you got issues with English, or a science teacher if you got issues with science? Why not do that? You get involved with the special ed teacher. What? You just walk up to the special ed teacher, hey, can you tutor me? I'm having some issues with my math. What would make you think that? That's why I suspect if that was just a setup, maybe they were flirting, and she was like, "Yeah, ask your mom. Tell your mom you need a tutor." And okay, yeah, okay, I'll tell my mom I need a tutor. And then I can come over your house and nobody will think anything of it. The mom leaves the teacher there with her son, thinking, oh, it's just a teacher, I got to run to the store real quick. Things happen. But that's the question, like, is this an issue in the white community? Is this a thing? Is this something that happens behind closed doors a lot, even with parents in the home and the kids? Is that something that's going on? Because we hear a lot of cases about that, about the parents assaulting a child, their own children. It's even one case that I just seen on the local news website here in my town. And the guy, I actually graduated with him. We are actual classmates. He was just sentenced to 100 years for messing with his daughter. He was messing with his daughter since the age of 6, they said. I think she left the house when she was 18, so it happened for 12 years. She waited until she graduated and moved out, then went to the authorities about him. I think she's like 20 now. She just had a baby. She just went to the authorities about him, and they sentenced him to 100 years in prison. Crazy part about it is I just seen him a couple of weeks ago. I went to a store, I got some gas, and I went inside this store. And he was working in there, and it was kind of shocking because he just never seemed like the type of person to be working in a little store like that. Just a convenience store. I didn't think nothing about it. And then I got to thinking to myself, well, you know what? Maybe he's on bond. After I read the story, I was like, he's probably on bond. So he's trying to make some money. And then I got nosy, so I went to his Facebook page and seen him taking a couple of pictures. I'm thinking, damn, he's just taking these pictures because he know this is his last time being free. But yeah, that was just a shocker to me to know that this was a person who I actually went to school with. He didn't come off as somebody who I would think would do that, but at the same time, he was a little bit of a jerk. He was definitely a jerk when it comes to certain things around campus, around school, even just dealing with him. The dude was a jerk. But for him to be assaulting his daughter was something that I had never imagined. And then she came out, she had a video where she was relieved. She was saying how, I'm glad he's gone. But yeah, is this some type of epidemic in the white community with these white female teachers having sex with these male students? What's going on here? Somebody talk to me.
Contacting those families whose students have had direct contact with the teacher and coach.
The student's mother, after discovering his text thread, took her son into Downers Grove Police over the weekend. Formella was arrested Sunday after a traffic stop. She denies having sex with the student, accusing him of stalking and blackmailing her. Formella is on administrative leave with pay, and she's not allowed inside the school or in contact with anyone under 18 years old. In Downers Grove, Natalie Martinez, NBC5 News.
Here go the story. It's got a couple of text messages as well. I'm going to read it real quick. Make sure y'all can see it. Okay. Text messages. It says skin crawling text messages allegedly sent by a married Illinois high school teacher to a 15-year-old student showing her professing love and pining over having sex with him. And police say it's proof she sexually assaulted the boy. Christina Formella, a 30-year-old special ed teacher and soccer coach at Downers Grove South High School, allegedly told the victim, "I love having sex with you." And she's saying she loved having sex with a 15-year-old. And other lurid lines in 2023 text messages found on the boy's phone Friday. Court documents obtained by WGN9. One of them says, "I love you so, so much, mama." The boy sent Formella in one text. Now, the boy, just being honest with you as a man, he don't know. He just think he love her. Only reason why he thinks that is because he's having sex with her. And I'm just being honest. He's a young man. He's having sex with her. It's probably his first time doing that. So he thinks he's in love. That's what dudes do. A lot of them. I've done it. One of the first people you have sex with, you think you love them. Oh man, we love each other. I love her. No, you just love the sex. You've never had that before. It's something new to you. It's a new feeling. The next message says, "I love you so much, baby. Even though this morning was short, it was perfect." The teacher, then 28, allegedly responded. Wow. So she wanted it to go longer. I just can't even believe that they would even put this in text messages. You got folks out here hiding messages through Snapchat and shit, like, because shit disappears. They just sending straight regular text messages. "I know, baby, it was perfect. Baby, so perfect," the boy replied back before Formella opined about how much she loved having sex with him. "I know, baby, I love it so much. It feels so good. It's so passionate. It's so intimate. It's so perfect," the boy said. Like I said, his mind is he's ditzy, he's dingy. He just getting some. He don't know. He has no clue what he's doing. He has no clue what he's doing. Police took those messages as evidence that Formella was engaged in an inappropriate relationship with her student and was molesting him over 2 years ago. A protracted assault that allegedly began during a classroom tutoring session in December 2023 and continued until the boy eventually ended it. So he ended it. I wonder if they got into some type of altercation and he ended up turning her in. After police arrested Formella in her Chicago suburb Sunday, they allegedly found writings in her phone's Notes app that further suggested a sexual relationship with her underage student, the court documents showed. But Formella claimed that material in that app was just an outlet for her anxiety and that any sexual material was only about her husband. The new former teacher has flat out denied the allegations, instead insisting she's the victim of a frame job and blackmail from the boys she tutored and coached, and that people are targeting her because she's good looking. Now, don't that sound like some BS? If you really thought this about this young man, why would you put it in your notes? Why would you send certain messages if things didn't happen? If I hadn't done anything with somebody, why would I be saying, "Oh, it's so good, it's so, so good," even though it was short? Why would I be saying something like that? Those are the kind of questions you have to ask yourself. Why would I do that? It doesn't make any sense. The new former teacher has flat out denied the allegations. Oh, I already read that. She claimed that one day the boy had grabbed her phone unattended, had entered her passcode. Now, how would he know her passcode? How would he know her passcode? Unless they were so close, so tight, in such of a relationship that she would have given it to him. She gave him the passcode. They was having a very intimate relationship with each other. If you married, why does a student have your passcode? It doesn't make any sense. Says had sent the message to his phone, had then deleted the message from her phone, and had saved it to his phone as blackmail. It just doesn't make sense. So he knows your passcode, sends a message to his phone, deletes it off your phone, and saved it as blackmail. You lose everybody when you say he entered your passcode. How would he know your passcode? What is he doing with your phone for you to give him your passcode? You are a married teacher with a student. Formella said everybody comes after her because she is good looking and she is just a good person who cared too much about the boy, the document stated. That ain't true. If I was a teacher and I really cared about a student, they wouldn't have my passcode to my phone, let alone they wouldn't even be on my phone, nowhere near my phone. It would be in no instance where I would give a young lady my phone as a teacher. Two, I probably, as a male teacher, I wouldn't be nowhere alone with her, especially if I was tutoring her. If I had to come over her house, a parent or somebody was going to be present and we were going to be in the kitchen or the living room. We ain't going in no rooms. We're not going nowhere private. None of that's happening. Two, I'm not putting stuff in my notes about a student, especially sexual things, and I'm not texting them stuff about it was good even though it was short. I wouldn't be saying anything like that because nothing would have never happened. So I think they really got a dead to rights because none of this makes sense. It says the text messages were found Friday after the boy's mother bought him a new phone. As they were setting it up, she logged into his iCloud account and discovered them. She took her son to Downers Grove Police Station the same day and they reported the alleged abuse. Formella was charged with 2 counts of aggravated criminal sexual abuse and 1 count of criminal sexual assault and was released on the condition that she not enter the school grounds or have contact with anybody under 18. Now, ain't that incredible? She was released. That's all I needed to hear. She was released. When black people get into a jam or get into a bind behind something like that, or anything, period, when do you know them to get released and say, hey, just don't go over there? Especially a sexual assault. If you're a teacher, I know an instance of a teacher down here that had that, but he was lied on. They didn't even let him go. They had to find out that he was being lied on, but they didn't let him go. See, I think it's something to that. I think even when white people are criminals, in their minds, they still look at them as if they're not a threat. They're not violent enough for us to have to worry about them. They're not such a sexual deviant that we don't have to worry about them being out in the streets again. But when it comes to other groups, especially black people, they always find a reason why they got to keep you, or they raise the bond so high that you can't bond out. They always look at you as violent, deviant. You can't be helped. The only way to deal with you is to keep you locked up. But even when these people commit these crimes, they look at them as if, well, she made a mistake. But she can go home. We'll let her come back when the trial starts or whatever. He goes on to say wedding photos on social media appear to show Formella and her husband were married as recently as August. The college sweethearts were seen smiling and smooching in what appeared to be a happy and healthy relationship in the images. She and her husband were student athletes together at Concordia University. Formella began teaching at Downers Grove High in 2020 after earning her teaching license in 2017. She has since been placed on paid leave. On paid leave? On paid leave. They let her go and she got paid leave. This shit is incredible. I mean, it really is incredible how they can get away with this stuff and just go home. On top of that, still get paid. Still get paid. I'm telling you, they look at these people like they're not a threat. What was the white kid from Texas from down here who killed some people who was on side of the road, like working on their car or something? I think he had done it twice. They let him go. He fled to Mexico. His mom lied about it. And I don't even know what's going on with him today. If somebody can remember his name, I want to see what's going on. Is he still in jail? They probably let him go. He's probably not even in jail no more after doing this shit twice and fleeing the country. And I know y'all remember that case. His mom helped cover it up. She probably sent him there. Let him go. What was that dude's name? What's up, Chanel? I haven't got to Simone Sanders yet. I haven't got there. I haven't got to any of the topics yet. Charles says, in instances like this, white women always get bailed out by saying she was a victim of sexual assault as a kid or she had a substance abuse problem, but black people are always deemed sexual deviants. Yep, always. We never get the benefit of the doubt, but they always get the benefit of the doubt. Well, she probably did this because, you know, her dad had assaulted her and her uncle, they always got an excuse. They always make something happen for these people. Yeah, she'll be fine. You can let her go. Yeah, she can still get paid leave. She'll be all right. But you know what's gonna happen on top of that? Once the trial starts and she gets sentenced, guess what's gonna happen? She gonna get a reduced sentence. She might not even go to jail. They'll say something like a 6 months prison sentence, and then do the rest at home, some shit like that. They'll like do 5 years on papers. The only time I know them to really throw the book at some of these white female teachers was the lady who had a baby with the one kid, like was he Latino? I want to say that was down here too. I was a kid then. I don't really remember her name. I think she's still in prison. I think matter of fact, I think they were in love. I think they still talk to this day. I might be wrong about that, but I know at the time they were still saying, like, she was like, "Oh no, I love him. I still love him. I don't care." It's like, what? This is the only place that I know where white people can get away with some shit like this. Oh, well, I won't say that, but in Texas, this shit happens a lot, bro. It may not make national news, but it's a lot of instances where white people do certain types of crimes and they just kind of just skirt the system, but they throw the book at everybody else. I've seen it happen too many times. I cannot think of that young man's name. He, damn headphones. Now, why did they cut the camera off? He left the country. His mom helped him. Y'all don't know his name? Y'all don't remember that case? Damn. Because I want to pull that up real quick. She left him. Helped him. I mean, she helped him go to Mexico. He had hit like, I want to say it was like 4 people who was on side of the road working on a car that was, I guess, down. Maybe they was changing the tire or something. He mowed them over. And I don't even think that was his first time. He was drunk and everything. There you go, Charles. That's what they always do. They're gonna push the trial back until everybody forgets about it. Then they'll let her off with time served. That's exactly what they do. They do that a lot. They do that a lot. That's what they do, especially with these cops who kill these black men. That's what they do. They make a big fuss about it. They put it on TV. They go to his house and arrest him, and they put it all over the news. They charge him with murder. Then about a year later, you hear they dropped it to manslaughter. Then they dropped it to something else. They wait 6 more months. They drop it again. Then they keep pushing the trial dates back. Now, the first time they may show him going into the courtroom. Then the judge, we're going to push it back. We got, more evidence has been presented. I'm going to give y'all time to look it over. I'm going to give y'all another year. Then they put it in a little small piece of an article on a newspaper or on a website. Officer Mathis, he was released today. Time served. Nobody ever think nothing about it. Yeah, the lady I'm talking, that was her name, Mary Kay Letourneau. That's the lady I'm talking about with the student. Let me see if I can pull that up. Thank you. Appreciate that. That was her name, bro. Mary Kay Letourneau. But I remember that one. I can't remember that young guy's name, though. See, what is this? Are they still? Hold on. She got out? Oh, man. Hold on. Let me show y'all this. This is my first time seeing this, too, so. Whoa.
After her affair with Willie Falau was discovered, Mary Kay Letourneau was arrested and charged with raping a child. By the time she was arraigned, she was 7 months pregnant with Willie's baby. Mary took a plea bargain, a suspended sentence of 7.5 years, with mandatory counseling and 6 months in county jail. After serving 6 months, Mary was released. She moved into a friend's house, and there was one other condition Mary had to meet. She wasn't allowed to see Willie, or she'd end up in prison. But Mary had no intention of following the conditions of her parole. She started to see Willie again. Within a month, Mary and Willie were caught together. There was another bombshell. Mary was pregnant again with Willie's child, conceived during the weeks.
Damn!
What the fuck, y'all? God damn!
That's crazy. See, I was a little bit too young for some of this stuff. I was young enough to know what was going on, but I don't remember it quite like that. But yeah, this was her name, Mary Kay Letourneau. I don't remember that dude's name. I always thought he was a Latino, but he must be a Filipino or Hawaiian or something like that. But this is crazy, dog. The courts tell her to stay away from him. She don't. She do whatever the hell she want to do, and then she ends up pregnant again. Wow.
Weeks she had been out on parole.
Within weeks of your release from jail, you purposely violated the conditions of your sentence.
You didn't mind serving 7 more years?
I didn't believe it was going to be that long. I felt certain that what had happened procedurally in my case, that it would.
Look, they don't even expect to get punished like that. They don't even expect it. They don't even expect it. They like, well, damn. They don't even expect it. Oh, if I get caught, they just gonna give me, a little slap on the wrist. I'll go home. But as black people, man, we fearful of everything. Man, if you steal a piece of candy, what is the max? 5 years? You can expect to get 5 years. Because with us, they got to set an example. But when it comes to white, especially white women, they take it light. Black folks, you gotta every instance. Well, we need to set an example. They're gonna throw the book at you. Shit. She didn't even expect to do 7 years. She thought she was gonna get a couple of months again and get to go home.
That it would be taken care of. I thought maybe a year, maybe 2 at the most.
But the judge was furious. She sentenced Mary to the full term. After serving the full 7 years, Mary was released in August of 2004. Accompanied by a swarm of journalists, she registered as required by law as a sex offender. Billy was now 21 years old. No longer a minor, he could have contact with Mary. How long, how much time was it after you got out of prison that you were in contact with Billy?
Oh.
A day? A week?
Not too many hours after the no contact order was lifted.
Have you been intimate with Billy?
Well, what we most like about this part of our life right now is that it's nobody's business.
Mary, was it worth it?
That's a yes. For anybody that's slow out there, if you're having a hard time to decipher what she's talking about, that's a yes.
I don't look at life that way. I do my best. So if you asked me that question, did you do your best through every situation? There were, I can say I did my best. I did.
They always look at these white women as innocent because they put on this little face and I did my best. I'm not really a bad person. I just had a sex with a couple of students. We gang banged. Um, I didn't think anything about it. We had a couple of drinks. We did some homework, sat down. Um, he rubbed my legs. He was nice. He was a nice young man. Yeah, he cooked me dinner. Then one thing led to another. Um, and all the young men, um, we went upstairs, and it just happened. I laid on the bed, and one thing led to another, and my panties were off, and we were under the covers, and I was pregnant, and um, It's I really enjoyed it. It's not bad. Let me stop. She said, did they vilify? I don't think they ever did. I don't think they ever vilified the young man. I don't ever remember that. I never recall that. I think they was always just like, why does he keep going back to her? They kept trying to put in his head that you was sexually assaulted. Like, this isn't normal. But he never accepted that. He never accepted that.
I did do my best.
10 years later, I asked her the same question. I want to ask you what I asked you 10 years ago. Was it worth it?
Where I am in my life,
Can I cut you off? Can
Why
you
not?
Can you
You
ask
always
exactly
do.
how you asked it, and you just reply yes?
But yeah, these stories just keep popping up with these white female teachers having sex with these students. I mean, it just keep coming up. And the question I keep asking is this something that goes on in the white community? Because when it comes to black people, they think of us as thugs, criminals, loud, obnoxious, over the top type of people. So if that's our stereotype, is this y'all stereotype? Y'all become teachers and then try to have sex with students? Because I know in high school, that was a thing for white women. Not the teachers, but the white girls. They would go to these parties and always be having sex. All the white kids that I know that I played football with and sports with, they would always talk about these parties. Oh yeah, so and so she sucked my dick, and I mean it would be getting crazy at the. It's like it's stuff that even like as a black kid you would think like, damn, I'm a young, I want to do that too. Man, they doing all kind of stuff, the gang bangs, you know, the train, going out to the car and all of that shit. I mean, it was going on with black people too, but like it was almost like a fantasy with them. You're like, damn, they be getting it in. And then they make no bones about it. Oh yeah, I hit her. Yeah, I had sex with her last weekend. Ah man, she a hoe. Somebody sleeping with somebody girl. I mean, everything you could think of was going on with these white kids, bro. And they always claim that like black people like overly sexualized. Some of them are though, because we see these instances that we got these female rappers that are constantly pushing this hoe culture, which I don't like. So something that really pertains to white people, they actually push it on black people, and then they get some black people to go out and promote it. Chanel said, I guess she got too old. He had to answer for it, didn't he? Chanel said, I wonder if she feels if it was worth it now since he is filed. He filed for divorce? He filed for a divorce? It's probably why he divorced her, because he probably felt like she was never standing on business, like they say. When she asked her, did she regret it? Was it worth it? I mean, and she took a long time to answer. He probably, like he did, he wanted her to just answer the question. But she didn't. It took her too long to answer the question. Here goes another story. This one was from February 28th. The other one was from Washington Post, too. Let me give you out a source. It was New York Post, and it was by Alex Oliveira. It was published on March 19th, 2025. Now, this story is by Zoe Hussein, published February 28, 2025, titled Texas High School Teacher 35 Back Behind Bars for Sexually Assaulting a Male Student. A former Texas high school teacher is behind bars again for allegedly sexually assaulting a young student in connection to an incident that led to her arrest 3 weeks ago when she was charged with having an improper relationship with a student, according to a report. That's another bullshit charge. Having an improper relationship. Call it what it is: sexual assault, rape. Call it what it is. Molly Colleen Spears, 35, an arts and language teacher at Barbers Hill School in Mont Bellevue, was charged with 2 counts of sexual assault of a child and transferred to Chambers County Jail on Thursday. Spears was already indicted on February 8th on the charge of an improper relationship between educator and student for an incident on June 12, 2023, according to the court records and local outlets. That's why I say they don't really expect much to come of it. That's the reason why she did it again. It's nothing. They're going to let me go, or they're going to give me a slap on the wrist. So, hey, if I wanted to do it again, I'd just do it again. Spears allegedly engaged in sexual contact and sexual intercourse with the defendant, a student of Barbers Hill High School, and communicated through text message to meet the defendant on February 8th, the indictment said. The new allegations stem from the same case of an improper relationship between an educator and a student. So she went back. She was first arrested on February 11th after she self-surrendered to the Chambers County Jail, where she was released after posting $50,000 bail. Her bond has now been set at $200,000 according to cops. In Texas, it's only 10%, so she need to come up with $20,000. Spears, who stated working at the Barbers Hill Independent School District in August 2021, resigned in June 2023. Molly Spears worked as a high school teacher for Barbers Hill ISD from August 2021 to June 2023. She resigned earlier this month, a district spokesperson told the outlet at the time. Per policy, the district will not confirm any internal investigation into any matter. It remains unclear why Spears wasn't taken into custody at the time. Ms. Spears was first notified of the charges 2 days ago, and we acted immediately to get the bond set up and in place. Defense attorney Christopher L. Tridico told KPRC2. Ms. Spears looks forward to having an opportunity to confront the allegations and to finally put this matter behind her. State records show her teaching certificate has been listed as inactive since September 2024, with the educator under investigation for alleged misconduct. If convicted of the second-degree felony, she could face up to 20 years in prison and a maximum $10,000 fine. What's up, Dark Camp?
What up? What up? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. What's going on? What's the word? What's the latest on here?
Man, I was going over these before I had got into my topics. A lot of these, couple of cases that came down my time. Well, I had seen one the other day, and then I seen one today, and I'm just like, damn, is this something that goes on with these white female teachers that's constantly messing with these high school students, middle school students, actually not just having sex with them, but they trying to form these relationships with them. You know what I'm saying? So when they always classify black people as like over the top, ghetto, violent, they try to associate us with these certain type of things. My question is, can we associate them with this type of behavior? Is this something that we should be looking out for when it comes to our kids? Or our kids subject to go to school and see these white teachers and get assaulted? Because when they see black people, they get fearful, and they think, oh, he might rob me, or he might be violent towards me.
Right.
Let me lock my car door when he walks by. Which is crazy because I actually now that car door shit, I've experienced that, and that's insane, bro. Like, just I done walked in like to the mall and walked by somebody's car and heard the door lock. I'm like, damn. The first time I experienced it, I was like, damn. Go ahead.
I would just like to know, bro, where was these teachers at when I was coming up?
Man, see, and I think that's why they think they can get away with it. Because we didn't have that, bro. Well, I never
Man,
ran across
no,
no
man,
teacher like that.
I've had like older women or like old women teaching this shit, man. Man, I ain't gonna even hold you, right? Man, if
Well, I'll take that back. It was one teacher I know,
I was in school
and I
today
hate
at
to
the
put it out, bro. I hate to put this out there, because I don't think nobody from my city is really listening like that. Not right now, but it was
uh-huh.
this teacher. She was messing with the football players, bro. It was one dude that had a good scholarship. He was going. His brother ended up playing in the league. All this shit. She was smashing him. Now I know because I lived on the same street as him, right? And I seen it with my own eyes. So I know. But go ahead, man. I ain't gonna get into that. You still there?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay. Man, I ain't gonna even hold you. I would have been knocking them down, bro.
See? I mean, but that's typical. You know, when you're a young man, bro,
Right.
you'll do
Yeah.
that. You know what I'm saying? Because all of these
Right.
cases with these guys messing with these teachers, like the case I had just read before the article, he was talking about it was so good. You know, he loved her. But you know as well as I know, bro, when you that young, that's possibly your first time getting some. So you
Right.
just think you in love. You just think that you like this person. But it's only because you're experiencing something that you haven't experienced before. That's the
I would
reason
have
why
been
you
looking
feel
at
like
it.
that.
I would have been looking at it as I'm getting the experience, and I would have
That's
been
what I'm
knocking
saying.
them down.
That's what
I
I'm
would have been
saying. As a
knocking them
man.
down. I wouldn't been telling too many people. Man, I would have been knocking them teachers down.
But see, as
Young
men,
as they are,
we really think that. Yeah, I mean, I agree with you, bro. Because I probably would have too.
I ain't gonna even
But
front. Right.
I think when we get older, that's when you realize, damn, like she was probably preying on me, or she, she assaulted me, and I just didn't realize it because as a young man, my emotions are just all over the place, and I just want to get some. You know what I'm saying? That's all I know.
Right.
So
I wouldn't even. It wouldn't even cross my mind. I'm thinking of a sexual assault or anything like that. I just would have been knocking something down. Man, I would have been knocking them down, Rob. I'm sorry to
I look.
say,
I get you.
as a
I
young
get you. But
man,
what
I would have
I'm
been
saying,
knocking
but
them down.
when you got older, you would have came to some type of realization that wasn't the right thing to do. And at that time, you would be
I
cool
don't
with
know.
it. See,
If I
well,
would have got,
hey, and that's you then. That's you then.
yeah,
Because see, I had an experience
yeah,
with a relative where she
uh,
was, I ain't gonna say too much, but she didn't assault me, but she was trying to at the time. And at the time, something told me not to, because what had happened was I was at her house and she was in the bathroom. She was taking a shower. I was in the living room watching TV. And she was like, "Hey," I'm not gonna say my name. I started to say my name, but she was like, "Hey, come down. Come here, come here, come here." She poked her head out the bathroom. She was like, "Come here, come here, come here." And I'm like, "What?" So I peeked around the corner and she was like, come here, come here, come here. And something just didn't feel right, didn't sit right with me. So I didn't even go down there, bro. And it wasn't until I got older. I really didn't think nothing about it. But once I got older, I was like, bro, I think she was trying to sexually assault me. Because what she did do, she kinda put her titty out the door, almost like, you know,
oh,
trying to entice me, like, come here, look at this, I'm naked or whatever. But like I say, I was so young. I want to say I was probably about 8 or 9. So I was at this stage where like I was just like, oh my
okay.
God, you know what I'm saying? And I
Yeah,
didn't
it's
even
probably too young.
I was
I'm
too
thinking
young.
this like some high schoolers or middle schoolers or this
Well,
situation here
these
that you
cases that
talking
I'm
about.
talking about, they high schoolers. That's why I'm saying I
Okay,
think
yeah,
when you in high school, bro, you don't care. It could be a
right. That's what I'm
teacher
thinking
that's
in that mind
fine.
frame.
Yeah,
Yeah.
when you in high school, bro, man, somebody give you some, you gonna fall in love. I don't care what nobody say. Somebody give you some pussy, you gonna be,
I
I love her, I love her.
I probably would even in middle school. I probably would like if I was like
Middle
eighth
school too.
grade or
Yep.
something like that. I probably
Mm-hmm.
would have. Man, I would have tried it. I would have been, and hey, I'm sorry, ladies, I would have been mannish as hell. For real.
So would
I would
you?
have been mannish as
Okay,
hell.
just like this Mary Kay Letourneau case. If you was that guy and you loved that teacher, or you think you loved her, would you go along with that?
Go along with what? Saying I'm in love with her?
Going, yeah, saying you in love with her, letting her do her sentence, you getting married to her.
Nah, I ain't finna. Nah, I wouldn't be. You know, it was just something that happened, knock you down. I would be on to the next, on to the
You'll be
next
on to the
teacher.
next. See, but see, what I'm saying is, when it comes to boys, bro, our emotions are different. To us, it's
Yeah,
really just about some sex, bro. Like that's what
I
you want
know,
to
and
do.
that's when them
But it's still a
teenage
criminal act.
hormones is raging. I wouldn't. Hey, I ain't trying to press no charges. If I'm high schooler and I ain't. Hey, she ain't assault me. I don't know what y'all talking about.
Right.
That's
She
how
didn't.
I.
But the mom found the text message. That's this on the last story I
Oh
was
yeah,
reading.
mama.
The
Yeah, mama
mom
find it.
found
Yeah.
the text message and made him go downtown and report it.
Uh.
You on mute, Chanel, if you saying something.
Yeah, I'd be like, Mama, what you doing? That lady ain't do nothing to me. She was teaching me. We
Mm-hmm.
gonna learn today.
Mm-hmm. What's up, Chanel?
What's up, Miss Lady Chanel? You finally
Hi.
joining us.
Hey,
Hello.
Oh boy.
Chanel's in the building.
I'm not going to start today.
What you say?
I'm not going to start any ruckus today.
Oh,
What?
bull
You
crap.
ain't finna start no mess.
I'm going to be nice and sweet today.
She gonna be nice today.
Ah, I thought you was finna come up here and try to shame us.
No, because I have a lot of comments on this actually.
Go ahead.
Well, I'll say for one, my brother, Debo, he was 15, and one of the ladies that he used to talk to was 21. And my mama knew about it. And at the time, it wasn't no big deal.
Cause you know
She
what?
got him
At
a
the same
job.
time, not to cut you off and justify this. You know, it was some grown men teachers too that was knocking some high school chicks down, junior, seniors, maybe even sophomore. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They was knocking them down. I'm talking about, you know what I'm saying, some 16, 17-year-old girls in high school. We talking like a gym teacher or something like that.
Mm-hmm. I'm a product of that. My son's father is 9 years older than me, and like during the R. Kelly era, that was like normal. It wasn't.
Hmm.
I don't. I'm,
It wasn't frowned upon.
no.
It really. Oh, Chanel, you was being fast
Mm-mm.
in high school.
Mm-mm. No. No. Yes. I mean, of course. If we want to say that, yeah, of course, yeah. Everybody was. Even the
Yeah.
guys, like the guys.
But let me ask you this,
Age was.
Chanel. Now, what
Yeah.
what what is the thing? Because most of us know, a lot of the females, man, the ones that I went to school with, they would be messing with those older guys. Not like no 29, 30 year, but they would be like 21, 20, you know what I'm saying, getting in the cars with them after school and stuff like that. How do you feel about that now? Maybe then most girls think, okay, I got me an older type of guy, or he was here last year in school with us, but how do you feel about that now?
I guess I would be a hypocrite to say I would say something negative because I was that girl.
Mm-hmm.
So I would be a hypocrite. As long as say if I had a daughter and she was 17, 16, and the boyfriend was 20, I mean, that's what, 4 years difference?
Yeah.
Now, if she was like like a nerdy type of daughter who didn't know anything and couldn't, I didn't feel comfortable, then that would be different. But listen, as a 16-year-old, I knew things that old people didn't know. I was very, very mature because I come from an older family too. My parents is older, so I knew things. I was just more advanced in that way. And my little cousin, she feels some kind of way, like with the R. Kelly thing, and me, and it's like that was normal. Like I'm not saying R. Kelly in Pacific, but during that time, like the girl that he was peeing on or whatever. She was 15. I was 15. We're like the same age, right? I didn't get peed on, but her
When I seen
parents.
that video, I couldn't even
I
believe
saw the
that she was
video.
15.
It was a cassette player. You know, you had to have
Yeah,
a tape.
me and my friends was watching it, and when they said she was
Yeah.
like 15, I was like, damn, she does not look like she 15, bro. I'm like, she got to be like 19, 20.
I was going to clubs at 12, right? And
Mm.
with my cousin, everybody is older than me. Everybody is older than me. I've always dressed older. I always was mature, and I didn't never felt like those old men never took advantage of me either. Never. I'll tell you this, by the time I got about 13, 14, I knew I should tell them actually my real age. Because a lot of times girls will lie about their age, like they'll be like 16, they'll be like I'm 18 or whatever. Girls be lying about their age, first of all. But
Why do you think so many people try to act like, okay, we get it, people out of high school messing with somebody in high school, all of those different instances, but why does the majority of just society tries to act like younger women don't like older men, and they try to make it seem as if it's something that's really really bad? Like, I get it, if you a student that's in high school, somebody that's immature, and whatnot, messing with somebody that's a little bit older and maybe more mature. But even then, we know instances of people who like 38, somebody my age, and if I get with like a 22 year, they be like, man, you a pervert, man, what's going on? They try to make it seem as if you just some big weirdo, when we know in the past it was always people like, I want to give my daughter away to an older man, somebody who's more established, somebody who has something going on, and I know he's going to be able to take care of my daughter. What is the deal with that?
I'm not sure, but okay, maybe older men are not as mature as they used to be anymore, and the young girls are not as mature as they used to be anymore. Maybe
You
I'm
could be
not
right.
really
I'm not
sure.
disagreeing with you.
Yeah, I
It's
don't
your
really
opinion.
know because I've asked young women, so it's not like old women are saying this. There's young women that are saying this, so it's not like you got older women that's like hating. You know how some older women be like, "Oh no, you don't know." These are actually young women that do not like older men. So maybe something happened in between you and our stage of life and these new generations that knew, like a 33-year-old think a 40-year-old is old.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, really? At 33, I'm dating somebody in their 50s. But you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I think as people get older, that changes. You know what I'm saying? Like, the
But in my
older you get, you start
20s,
to look at people like, nah, they not that much older than me. They could be like 10 years, but they like, that's not that old to compared to me. But when you
I'm,
young, you
yeah.
think, oh my God.
40 is so old. But
Mm-hmm.
maybe I grew up with older people, so I had more access to older people. But
Mm-hmm.
maybe I don't really know, because it was weird to me, because we just had this conversation a couple weekends ago, and I'm just like, wow, the disconnect. I mean, like she would say, all black men are violent.
Mm-hmm. That's
All black
strange.
men are violent. Yeah.
Mm.
So I'm like, wow, I don't know how to address that.
Some people already have certain things embedded in their
Hmm.
mind and they can't get over
It's
it.
sad. It really hurt me, because I'm like, damn, you never had a good person, like a good male in your family. What about the man in our family? Maybe she feel like they violent and don't care. I don't know. I've
I
never
think too,
experienced
what
that.
happens with a lot of people is on their first experience, if they get a really, really bad experience, it just messes them up. You know
Downhill
what I'm
from there, and
saying?
I think that's exactly
It's
what
like,
happened.
man,
I
yeah.
think that's exactly what happened, and I can't relate to that, so I don't want to address it. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? Because I never had that problem. Because I remember this one person, he tried to sexually violate me. I kicked him in the nuts.
Mm.
But my mama told me, she was like,
Y'all was alone together?
yeah. Thank God it wasn't a family member, but it was close. It's always somebody kind of close, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah, I kicked him in the nuts, and I ain't never had no problems again.
Now look, check this out. Now what is this gonna be a little bit controversial, I guess, but you can answer this too, Dark Kent. It was instances when I was younger and it'd be like relatives, maybe not close relatives, but maybe you go to a family reunion, and people would be hunching and not messing with each other, but they would be grinding on each other a little bit. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. Like now, it's crazy when I see some of them. I think they always like we was just young, just doing stupid shit. But I would never try to make it seem as if, oh, they sexually assaulted me, and I just think we was all just you just at that age, you just kind of horny, kind of. You don't know. You like just trying out something. You have no idea what you're doing. What y'all think about that?
If Kent want to talk about it, I definitely have some comments. But if Kent want to say something,
Sounded like somebody came off their mic. I don't know.
oh, that's me. It keep changing. Oh,
It's muting you and unmuting you or
yeah.
something? That's
And
cool.
I'm not even. I'm cool now. So yeah, I've had that happen. A family reunion. You don't know who's who, and they're trying to
Mhm.
holler at you, but you actually find the cousin attractive, right? And so what's funny is that I found
Yep.
out this one particular cousin was adopted. I was like, oh, thank God. But yeah, so there are cousins that
So
you
I
do
had that same
attractive.
instance. Go
Like, oh
ahead.
God, thank God. But I have seen some cousins that I ain't never seen a day in my life, ain't seen since. I mean, we
Mm-hmm.
talking 1993.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think there's like a natural bloodline doesn't um take away attraction at that age, but you just have to know, like my mom always talked to. I know in the back of my mind that's wrong to do. But yeah,
Yeah.
I mean that's normal. People be
Mm-hmm.
people
All
act
right,
so
I'm back.
weird.
They act like I know I'm with you. People act
Yeah.
like they never done this, so this has never happened, and it's weird. It's like,
I
bro,
never got humped by my
everybody's done it.
cousin, but they definitely wanted to hump, but
Mm. Man, I had a female cousin. We was like playing a game,
yeah,
and
she
she
was
just
like,
came in the room and just like grinded on me, bro, like a lap dance. I was like, what the hell? Man, you at that
Man,
age, you just don't know what the hell is going on, bro.
it's
hey,
it's
we used to have a game that we played
I go
back
get
in
it.
Milwaukee. Hein, go get it. That's
Gotta go
it.
get it.
I used to love that game.
Uh-oh.
I used
Uh-oh.
to love. See, look, Chanel already knew. Before I could even take the words out of my mouth. She already knew. See,
We
Chanel
grew
was
up.
fast. She was fast.
I was not fast. The
Yeah,
boys was trying to hide go get it with us.
yeah. We thought we was doing something dry humping.
Y'all wasn't doing nothing. Right. That's what I was saying, dry
We wasn't
humping. You
doing
wasn't doing nothing.
nothing.
You just experimenting. But thank
I've
God,
been and chased you down and grabbed your booty and ran
Uh
off.
huh.
God, and they'd be like,
Uh,
ooh.
Mm-hmm.
right.
So yeah, it's normal. It's a part of life. And that's why you gotta keep a close eye on your kids at that age.
You really do. Because
It's
that's
normal.
you mention that, but it's funny because when you have kids, you be like, nigga, I used to do that same shit. So if we go to a family reunion, I'm gonna be like, where you at? Hold on. Y'all need to
That's
stay
your
where we can
cousin.
see you.
That's your
Yeah,
cousin.
yeah.
You better tell them, hey.
Yep.
Thank God my mother was
Mm-hmm.
very honest and open with me. I really
Mm-hmm.
appreciate that about my mother. And that gave me the strength to be say no, like that. So
Mm-hmm.
just talk to you.
But you say ain't you like the youngest of a lot of kids?
Yeah. So my brothers, they was always there. So nobody really too much mess with me too much.
And then too, your parents had already experienced a lot of things. So by the time they got to you, they was like, we might as well just be honest with her. We didn't deal with this so many
Yeah.
times.
But I had a lot of free time though.
Because
Like when I was 14, my curfew was midnight.
Damn.
Wow.
And I had a lot of free time. And in fact, well,
sheesh. That was never gonna fly at 14 in my house.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Hell no.
Yeah. But I was trustworthy, right? So
I was trustworthy up until about 16, 17.
Yeah, that's that.
And then I start,
man.
Let me I'll be back at 11. Then I'll come back home at 3.
2, 3. Mm-hmm.
They mad, you know what I'm saying? I know they're gonna be mad when we wake up. What time did you get in the house? No, I'm lying. I'm gonna say shit, 12, 1. They're like, nah, nigga, we stayed up to about 2 o'clock waiting on you.
Wasn't even
you never
there.
showed up.
I just told my son to be honest. Forget it.
Yeah.
Just don't come home with no babies, Lord.
Yeah. That was now they did hit me with that a lot.
Yeah,
Don't bring
just
no babies in here.
Y'all gonna do what you gonna do. Especially young men. I can't do nothing with that. So yeah.
Well, I was kind of different. I'm not gonna lie to you. It was times when my friends, like, they would be want to go, run the train and let's go do this
y'all
with this
was
girl.
freaky.
Oh man, I had some crazy friends, but they was
Y'all
always
have
trying to.
some freaky friends.
I had some crazy friends. I'm telling you, they was putting stuff
It's
on
not
tapes and everything.
not uncommon and not unheard of.
I knew a girl.
I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. Like, believe it or not, I'm one of them guys. I was like, nigga, I don't want to be around y'all
That's like
smashing somebody.
Homosexual.
Yeah, that's how I'm telling you. That's how I felt. My friend, they'd be like, man, we finna go do this. Hey, you coming? I'd be like, nah. And they just couldn't believe it. They're like, nigga, you ain't coming? I'm like,
y'all gonna be
hell
naked?
no.
I just tell my son,
Yeah.
like,
hell no, bro. I ain't trying to do nothing with y'all. If I'm gonna do something, it's gonna be y'all me.
You know who put me up on that game? I hate to say it, but it's true. Michael Eric Dyson.
Mm-hmm.
Back in the day, he used to talk about homo thug, something like bitches over money, my niggas over bitches, or like how in the rap game it was all about my homies.
Mm-hmm.
Your pants singing down.
Money over bitches.
Yeah, thank you. And like this, I'm hanging with my guys all the time. Always hard legs, and I got to thinking about that like my early 90s. I'm like, that really make a lot of sense. Why you want to be around a bunch of men all the time? Because I don't want to be around a bunch of women all the time. I'm trying to get me a guy, and we gonna hang out or whatever, and she gonna get her guy, and they gonna hang out together.
That's what I was on. I was like, bro, I want a chick for myself, man. I don't want to be with y'all niggas.
Yeah, it's homosexual.
That's what I was on, man. I mean, I kick it with you fellas. Then at a certain time,
yeah, you want to get to your lady softly.
My lady, right? I'll holler at y'all tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
Especially if you drinking too, because
I said, hey, 10 times out of 10, you more likely to get in trouble with your guys than you could have been laid up with your lady.
Yeah,
and you know what I'm saying. You stay out of more trouble. I guess that's what kind of worked out for me. I stayed up under my lady a lot in the evening. Didn't get into no trouble. I hear about other people getting in trouble and shit.
You go unless y'all Bonnie and Clyde.
Mm-hmm. Right, that type of thing. But yeah, I dodged a lot of trouble.